So today's lecture will be mostly about instructions. So for today, I will just begin one program that I began to you all in C. I hope most of you must have been taught CS 102, I think by me, I think, right? So few instructions only for today because this is the first week and I hope everybody is safe at your home and at least all of you have got one dose of vaccination, right? If not, do please get vaccinated as soon as possible. Fine. So let me just zoom into the screen and I will explain you the instructions for today's classes. Right. So the first instruction for this course is that there is no attendance policy in my course, right? In my course only. Others I cannot say anything. But for Python, there is absolutely no attendance policy. Fine. So even if you don't attend any lectures, I don't bother because some of you may know Python, but I will start this course with the knowledge that you do not know C, you do not know Python. Probably someone who has studied biology and just started to learn Python programming, it is with that standard, right? It may so happen that eventually the learning curve may be a bit steep, but I am there to help you all out. Fine. So there is no attendance. So please don't write your roll numbers in the chat box or don't message me ki sir I was present but I could not connect to WebEx due to network issues. Nothing of that sort. There is 0% weightage for attendance, right? So I begin on a good note, hopefully. Then over the semester, I will take 4 to 5 Google quizzes, right? Google form quiz. The format is usually MCQ based only. There is no theory part here. You will be given a snapshot of a program and you will be asked to predict the output or predict the error in the program. Fine. It will be strictly MCQs based only, right? You just have to mark ABCD, ABCD. But of course, that has a negative marking component as well, right? So there will be 4 to 5 quizzes in the whole semester and 5 assignment. So if you see the curriculum of Python, it is 2026. That means it has a component for tutorial, which is of 2 hours. I need to discuss the slot for tutorial, but that we can discuss over the WhatsApp group. Right? There will be, of course, one midsem exam that comprises of the quiz and the assignment as per the Senate norms, and of course, one endsem assignment as per the quiz and the assignment. One more thing to keep in mind is, for example, even if I teach C, I taught C for the first year batch who were a bit late because of Corona. I try to provide an equal weightage to everything that is being covered in the course. So don't feel that one midsem or one endsem will have a very higher weightage, right? Try to have a good performance throughout the course, which will help in the eventual grading. So you need not get disheartened if your one midsem or one endsem or one quiz goes a bit not up to the mark as per your expectations. Right? When submitting assignments, you have to use GitHub. I will come back to that point. But we also check for code plagiarism. Code plagiarism means when you call your friend and say, "Ki, I am not able to do the code," and they give the copy paste to me, and you submit thinking that we won't check for the code plagiarism. We do check for code plagiarism, and unfortunately, both the one who copies and the one who helps to copy both get zero, right? So sharing is not always caring, right, with regards to academics. So please keep that in mind. Uh, we have a like no listening policy on this, right? You cannot say ki no sir, I didn't copy, I wrote it on myself. It is quite evident that it was a copy pasted code. Third, right? So this course will be less about theory and more about practicals. I will be doing live demos of the quiz. I will be also sharing the quiz with you. I will, live codes. I will be sharing live codes with you. The codes will be given to you a night before or something like that. I'm still making the arrangement for it. And you will actually see code execution and then try to understand. Right? If you remember my CS 102 lectures, I used to execute the code on the projector and then make you understand. The same approach will be in Python. So there will be not something like, I will not teach based on the presentations and all, which is something which I don't like. And programming is to be taught practically, right? So this point is clear. Yeah, set up VS Code with Python. Fine. All these instructions I will email you on the WhatsApp and on the e-webmail also. So what happens, I actually expect you all to execute the codes along with me, right? So that you can do practicing by learning yourself, right? What issues actually come here? See, some have Mac OS, some have Windows, and some have Linux or Ubuntu, whatever you call it, right? Now, VS Code is available for all the platforms, whether it is Mac, Windows, or Ubuntu, right? So I will be sharing the YouTube link also. Of course, there are tons of YouTube tutorials on which how to set up VS Code and Python, but I'm sharing a common one so that everybody is on the same page, right? You can use Jupyter notebooks for those who already know Python, they know what is Jupyter, but I will be showing you the demos in VS Code only, right? So for uniformity, I will advise all of you to use VS Code only. I mean, very easily available, easy to install, and kind of a very easy configuration also. Next, you need to learn GitHub, right? I think most of you must have heard the term GitHub, right? It's not a new term, right? So the entire world uses GitHub for coding platform. And for those whom the GitHub is very new, if you have not worked on GitHub, please don't worry. I'm sharing a playlist with you, right? The playlist has something like 10 or 12 videos. That 12 videos total, if you add up all the time, it is just 90 minutes, right? 1.5 hours. So today's lecture, I am leaving you probably in 5 to 7 minutes from now. So you can start the GitHub tutorial, right? That will be the lecture today, right? You just see the tutorial, watch the playlist, and try to do as the guy says in that tutorial. Why I am focusing on GitHub? Because all the assignments that I give you in this course, plus the projects that I give you in this course, will have to be uploaded on GitHub on a repository. More instructions about the repository, because every one of you will create a private repository, but I will just say you the nomenclature and everything that you need to take care, right? It will be something of roll number underscore something that I will tell you. Fine. So deadline for learning GitHub. See, it's just 90 minutes. Today, I think we have just spent 12 minutes, 5 minutes more from my side, and I will leave you today with the link for the GitHub. So the remaining 45 minutes, you complete half of the tutorial that is there on the YouTube, right? For those who know GitHub, it's okay, right? So you know, so nothing to watch, but I would just say, just browse quickly, right? If you have intermittent net issues and everything, the entire playlist, I have downloaded it and saved as a zip file also, right? So if you want to have a one-shot download, you can download the 460 MB and watch it without ads or anything. So that is just for your convenience, or you can just see on YouTube, which is usually a preferred option. For the very first timers, you may find the GitHub command line a bit tough, and that is normal, right? Whenever we see everything in command line, it feels tough. You see in movies, whenever they want to show some hacking, they always show some command line windows just to, make you fear, okay, oh, he's very talented. So nothing like that. So GitHub realized this and they released a desktop version of GitHub. So I just go to the website. I have this in the tutorial also. So if you see, this is GitHub desktop, right? With GitHub desktop, everything, and this is by Git community only, right? So not a third party tool, an excellent tool for managing projects through GitHub. Everything here is just click based, even if you don't have to even write a single command from the command line. So just download this. This is also available for both Windows, Macs, and Linux also, to what I know. So do install GitHub. And how to work with desktop GitHub, I have given a tutorial of that also, right? Do watch that. And yes, so one thing that programmers always suffer is versioning, right? So Python, you have from version 2 to version 3. Of course, 2 is now deprecated. Of course, 3 also has 3.1, 3.2, 3.4. Now 3.9 is the latest, right? With so many versions in place. And as per the academic record, I have 136 students. You can install any version, right? Python 3 is a must, right? Python 2 is deprecated. Don't install Python 2. You install Python 3, but eventually all your assignments will be checked on this particular website, onlinegdb.com, online C compiler. It will be checked on this particular website. Don't worry, don't note it down. I will send you the email with the instructions. Now, why I am keeping one website as mandatory? Because last time when I taught C, the Corona batch, right? They had 395 students in first year. I taught all of them. Now, so many versions of GCC were there from version 4 to version 9.3 that it was creating a havoc. It was running on their version, but not running on the TA's version. So everybody of you, You code your program locally on your desktop or laptop, code everything on your desktop, debug everything on your desktop. But finally, when everything runs well on your desktop, just copy paste your code on this particular website and you just check your code. I will advise you to just sign up on this website because I think it has an option of saving the programs also. So just sign up using your Google account and everything. Fine. I have made a WhatsApp group also. I hope everybody joins. I think there are 116 participants and there are 130 here, right? So let me, okay. Mm, so we roughly have 122 participants, right? Invite via link. So copy link. Okay, so I will again mail all of you, right, for the WhatsApp link. Can somebody who is online just go to the WhatsApp chat settings and paste the WhatsApp group link here, right? I have kept my phone away, right? So can anybody just paste the WhatsApp group link here so that all the participants who are not on the WhatsApp group can join? So yeah, tutorial slot as of now I have fixed from Friday 6 to 7, but that we can discuss on the WhatsApp group and finalize, right? Because this time we have a new slot based timetable. Fine. Oh, thank you, Anurag, for pasting the WhatsApp chat group. All of the 128 participants, right? I can see that the WhatsApp group is of 122 participants. If the remaining 6 are here, kindly just click on the WhatsApp chat group and you can join the group. You know, sending updates on WhatsApp is easy because what I observed last time is, for example, if I keep your quiz at 12 to 12:15, the link sent on WhatsApp reaches instantaneously, but sometimes our Zimbra webmail has a delay of, let's say, a minute or so. And since quizzes are very strict deadline specific instructions, so I expect all of you to be on WhatsApp. And you know, the interaction is easy because the same doubt is cleared by one of the people. Fine. So since this is a first class, let us do one small program that all the programmers do. Right, programmers love to show off. From a CS perspective, I can say you all these things, simple things they will show off as if it's a very big thing. Right, I am executing this on the online GDB. I will also execute this on the VS Code. Right, my VS Code is already configured to have the Python, and I will send you the instruction for configuring your own VS Code. So if you remember your C code, if you have to write a hello world program, right? So what would you write? Let me just show you. You will write include std io.h, right? And then you will write int main, right? You will open a curly bracket. You will write return 0. Then you will write printf, and then you write hello world, and then you give a semicolon and so on and so forth. So much you had to write in C and then you compile the code and everything, right? So quite a bit of code just for writing hello world. So Python, let me tell you, it is fun to learn, right? And good thing about Python is there are no pointers here. So all those who still carry the burden of pointers, you know, and the nightmares that you faced using pointers, please don't worry. Python does not have pointers, right? So everything is very simple and very sweet. You will be learning Python in a very fun manner, right? So how do you write printf in Python? I mean, hello world program. You just write print, not even printf. You just write print hello world, and let me write welcome CS384 students. Okay, this is here, and let us make a smiley also. Fine. So this is my code. My file name is hello.py, right? And how do I run this code? Because I have configured VS Code already. Once you see the tutorial, you will also learn how to configure VS Code. Just right click here and click run code. So when you run the code, you can see whatever was there in the print statement within the quotes, just like C. In C, whatever you write in printf, everything appears on the screen. Similarly here, whatever you write in the print statement, everything appears here. Let me also show you in the online version because many of your VS Code must not have been configured. So on this particular website, onlinegdb.com, so let me just paste in the chat session. right? So I'm just writing print hello world, welcome CS384 students, and you can see there is a green button here which is saying run. So I just run the file, and you can see the output is printed here. Hello world, welcome to CS384. If you remember, I used the same compiler in the C program also. And as I told you, don't use Python 2. This particular website also does not have any option for Python 2. They directly make use of Python 3 only. You see, there is nothing called Python 2. There is only Python 3. Fine. So this is your first program. If you want to try to print your name here. Right. My name is Dr. Mayank Agarwal. So let me just type here. You can print your own name. I am the instructor for CS384. Just run the code and you will get the output. Fine. So guys, we have 20 minutes done for today. So I stopped the today's class here also, here only. Every class that I do, I will make a recording and I will upload on YouTube. Fine. So in case you miss the class for some reason, you can always go to YouTube and see the lecture, right? This is for your convenience. Fine. I will be sending the instruction on WhatsApp as well as email, guys. So you all can exit, but please start the GitHub Ninja tutorial. Let me just open the link for you. GitHub, yeah. Right. So this is a tutorial, Git and GitHub beginner tutorial. It is absolutely beginner tutorial, right? 12 lectures, and if you see, there are very small lectures, 5 minutes, 5 minutes, 8 minutes, 4 minutes, and an excellent resource, right? Because all of the assignments will be via GitHub. No email of the assignments will be entertained. Fine. So that's it, guys, for today, and have a good day. Any doubts or queries or anything you may ask, you are free to ask. Those who don't have doubts, they can quit the session. So recorder stop.